Hey, Coach, we'll get started with Tim Reynolds.
Erik, first off, what was your assessment of how Bam looked and how he played?
It's just great to have him back out there. I'm sure he, feels the same way. We just become a totally different team, when he's out there. Then we can just continue to build on this.
It looked like Jimmy rolled the ankle there a little bit at the end on the play we got fouled on the baseline. Did
I'll just have to find out. Yeah.
And finally, it wasn't like a runaway, but at least it was one of those games where I think for the first time in a while you held a double-digit lead the whole fourth quarter. Is that an important building block?
Well, you're going to have a lot of different challenges, every night. I think it's a good challenge, for us to be able to play with a lead and find a way to continue to extend it and not let them come back. It was a little bit up and down, our game. There was some sloppiness to it and some miscues defensively. But, overall, we made enough plays, to come out with the win.
Thank you, Erik.
Next, we have Cooper Moorhead.
It's about watching these guys play defense. They're connected, but there's nothing passive about the way they're playing D right now. It's energy and it's aggressive. What have you done in the past month or so to empower everybody on this team to kind of play that style of defense?
Well, it's really been now for a couple of months of just trying to build the necessary habits to be able to defend in, an extremely dynamic offensive league. There's no easy way to defend night in, night out. The level of skill and shooting and, bigs that can get behind your defense. So, the group is really committed to these multiple efforts and that activity. We're at our best, when we're flying around and getting deflections, making some plays.
Next, we have Anthony Chang.
Hey, so I know we've talked about the flashes that KZ has shown, but I think he's playing 5 straight games. Now, what could this consistent playing time mean for him, for a guy who, last year obviously spent most of the year in the G League, and then this year it's been in and out, up until this stretch?
Yeah, if everything went, it was a normal year and association, everything, he would have had a great summer in summer league, a training camp there, full development, then off-season development, and then flow right into training camp, and then possibly go to the G League, for 10 games and just get as much experience as he possibly could. For all the young players, it hasn't turned out that way. But he's really made the most of what he can, and that's the development behind the scenes, the film sessions, work before and after, just to prepare himself, to be able to produce and be productive out there, when his number is called. And with Bam out, and when we put him in the starting lineup, we were able to do a lot of the similar, at least, schemes that we do with Bam, so we could play a familiar way. And he's gotten, a little bit more comfortable and confident with each game.
Next, we have Ira Winderman.
Erik, Jimmy seems to be the kind of player who feeds off his defense, and he was so active defensively, I guess not only tonight, but really during this recent run. How much does that energy provide on that end sort of just sync through with everything else you guys are doing?
Well, it just fits into, our dynamic. And, the thing about JB is this is who he's always been. He's been the definition of a true two-way player. I think that's, in some ways getting lost, in this league. He can take on big matchups. He can be extremely disruptive. He can build, a rock solid defense, around him in your system. And, the same goes, for Bam. And, Jimmy, we've needed every part of it. And, his two-way play the last several weeks.
Thank you, Erik.
Next, we have Josh Mosier.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Just a fun question. What goes through your head when you hear D Wade announced on the loudspeaker?
Shoot, I didn't even hear that.
Oh, yeah, just a player from the Cavs, D Wade. We can hear it through the broadcast. Curious if you took note of that at all.
Gosh, I don't know. I guess I was locked in. I don't even really know what you're talking about.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess as long as I have you, just another question for your team to put together these wins with everything that you've gone through. What's the biggest area of growth that you've seen off the floor that allows this team to be successful on it?
Off the floor, I don't know. This has been a unique year for everybody, and I think it's been important to, just try to embrace this season for all the challenges that it presents. If you approach it that way, this is an exhilarating experience. To do this as a group together. You're going to face a lot of adversity, and when you're able to overcome little mini adversities during the course of the year, you grow closer.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.